Welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's going on, man?
A lot.
Care to expand on that, good sir?
Listen, we'll dive into the weekly recap. So, emotionally, I'm not here. Physically, I am.
Yeah, it's very exhausting being a Bills fan. It's very, very tough being a fan of a team that's actually good. I saw this post on Barstool that says, I'm so happy the Sabres are coming back because now I can be knocked back down to reality.
100%. It's interesting watching the Bills now because they're converting 3rd and 11s, and that used to be impossible.
Yeah.
And now we understand, this is going to be a tough 3rd and 2, and then we'll pick it up. We'll run a 3-yard play. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, it was a 3-yard run. We, keep the clock moving. We didn't put the defense back on the field and exhaust them. We're good. We have another 3 downs to make something happen. And then all of a sudden we have a flag. It's backed up. They jump. We get a flag. Or we get a flag in our favor. And then all of a sudden it's 3rd and 11. It's like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And then we have 2 to 3 different options to choose from between Diggs, Beasley, and a running back slipping out that they forgot to cover because we have too many other options.
Or Allen running himself.
And then it is like, okay, is there a hold? Is it going to come back? Who made a mistake on the line? And then when it doesn't happen, I'm like, I can't believe it. I just can't believe we're converting 3rd and 11s consistently, where 3rd down is just another play. And then the other thing that made me realize over the last 28 years of heartache, when we intercepted Ben for the second time and it was on the sideline, I just sat there, hands on my head, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, is that a thing? Did we really just do that? Where's the defensive pass interference? Where's the flag? Where's the hold? Something must have happened. We got to hit. Did we hit Ben? Mm-hmm. Is it something? And then nothing happened. And the entire Steelers team is like, wait, really? There's no flag? So that did happen? And the whole stadium was in shock. Granted, there's 40 people in the stadium.
Yeah.
But the whole stadium's in shock. And I'm like, I can't believe that this is a thing. It's just wild to experience a good football team because all we did was hear about it growing up. Mm-hmm. We didn't know a damn thing. We were barely old enough to understand Flutie.
They were saying today, the last time the Bills won the AFC, Josh Allen wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, it was a year before he was born.
The AFC East. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But what I like about it is we're sitting here and we can now see that we're a good team that is a team that looks like they're meant to play football. My biggest thing, and everybody knows this, I hate the Baltimore Ravens because when they beat you, it's like you were beat by a high school team because all they're doing is running around doing these trick plays, doing this stupid shit with Lamar Jackson. I can't stand watching them play because I don't look at that style as being a professional style football. Obviously it is because they're winning games, but you associate that more with college football. Mm-hmm. So when you just see Allen run when he has to, but sit back in that pocket and just throw darts down the field, he reminds me a lot of Russell Wilson now. Russell Wilson doesn't run first, and he's so accurate down the field, he can just laser it to any one of his receivers, and it's golden. It's so exciting to watch him play football now. I mean, he doesn't have the stature of Russell Wilson. He has the stature of Big Ben or Andrew Luck.
Right.
Or Luck, but I just think that his throwing style now is so much more similar to Russell Wilson than it ever was to Andrew Luck. Luck never ran.
I don't know. I feel like Russell Wilson still runs every down. If he scrambles out, if it's a bootleg like that, he's always running around the pocket. Right now, Josh Allen reminds me not even of Brett Favre, but a Carson Palmer, who just stands in the pocket and delivers perfect ball, beautiful balls to watch. Even Aaron Rodgers scrambles a lot, but there's more similarities between Aaron Rodgers and Carson Palmer with Josh Allen than, in my opinion, Russell or anybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, every quarterback now in the league is basically running around, either because their offensive line is atrocious or because that's their style of offense, and it's always swing outs and trying to disguise things and yada yada, but it's,
Yeah, what was cool to watch the other night. So if anybody didn't pick up, obviously by now we're talking about the Steelers-Bills games that just happened last night. We recorded this on Monday, so last night we played the Steelers. And what was cool to watch Allen do, which we've seen more this year than ever, is taking that step up in the pocket instead of running around and bootlegging. But there was that one play, I don't know if it was TJ Watt or if it was the other dude that Chris Collinsworth was talking about all night, but
Hayward.
Yeah, so the dude's arm came right at Allen's chest, and he just kind of he was looking downfield, and he just kind of moved out of the way. And I'm like, dude, that is a elite pocket passer move right there. You don't see that much anymore.
No.
You see people bootlegging out. I'm just so happy that Allen took that next step. I'm happy that Diggs is a friggin' unit, and he's completely changing our team. It's such enjoyable football now.
Yeah, we haven't had a true number one in years. Literally, Eric Moulds, Peerless Price, Lee Evans. Like, those were the last. And when you compared our number one receivers to a number one receiver in the NFL, Lee Evans is not a number one receiver in the NFL, but he was the Bills' number one receiver. Like,
well, even if you go back to like recent history, everybody thought that Sammy Watkins and Robert Woods were number one receivers. They're not number one receivers when you compare them to everybody else in the NFL.
No.
Diggs is leading the NFL right now.
Yep.
He's a true number one receiver, not for our team, but for the entire league.
The last time we had, outside of our childhood with Moulds and Lee Evans, it was T.O. And that was, he had one good deep route on the near sideline, and that was a bomb. It was like a 70-yard touchdown, but that was it. Other than that, he was pretty quiet, but don't worry, he still got the key to the city.
Yeah.
So,
well, Diggs, I think, thrives when he's the only number one. A lot of the contention of him coming here was that he was like a crybaby or whatever, like he started drama, but that was because he was in with Thielen, which is another like borderline number one wide receiver. And when you put those two in there, there's not enough reliability on Diggs that he's like, why am I even here? Whereas here, it's like, dude, the offense goes through you. Even if every pass doesn't go to you, you know that you're the staple of this offense. And I think he seems to be okay with it. Everybody says that he's okay with it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's cool to watch. I'm very excited. So outside of us waking up this morning and wanting to die because since the Bills are good, they're playing primetime, what else did you do?
Swung over to your house. We had fun. It was Colleen and I, and you and Journey. Obviously had a blast. Nice little charcuterie spread. Caught up. Made some plans for the future.
Little business meeting.
Yeah, but no, appreciate your hospitality, and thanks for being good hosts. It was a fun night.
The charcuterie board was mad good.
Yeah, it was.
So we got the charcuterie board from Meat and Eat. If you didn't see her interview, it released not too long ago. And the charcuterie board that she provided was top notch. I don't even know what the different types of cheeses that were on there, but that one, what was it, like goat cheese or something?
It was like a truffled goat cheese.
Truffled
it was super good.
Oh, it was spreading that on a cracker with some hot jelly. Whoa.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was good.
But yeah, it was fun. I mean, we just wanted to get together. We'd go to your house for brunch and then my house for evening activities.
There we go.
Perfect.
And of course, we played some fireplace ambiance in the back with Michael Bublé.
Which you can't please everybody. We'll just throw that out there.
Listen,
With the type of music, I thought that a nice calm setting with the fireplace, you can hear the crackling. I don't know what that was. That wasn't really crackling, but you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
You hear the crackling in the background. It's just like a nice, let's just chill and drink whiskey. And then play Freebird. It's like, what? No, we're not doing this.
Here's the thing. Women want what women want.
It's true.
So we have to pull teeth and get exactly what they want out of their mouth, because otherwise we can't read between the lines and figure it out ourselves because we're dumb. And that's
Everybody
the
knows
nature
I
of the
don't
beast.
like reading, so.
Exactly. But yeah, that was my week. Just went over to your house, got some stuff organized at the house, and then wrapped up some Christmas shopping.
You went hunting again, right?
Yeah, went hunting. And
How'd you do that time?
I didn't get anything, but did some scouting afterwards. Just walked around the woods. That was a good time. Try to find their patterns where they're at.
Yeah.
So found some scat.
Did you find some patterns?
Yeah. Just because there was a section of the property that's not necessarily hunted almost ever. And then with their natural lines of drift and kind of figuring out where they like to walk, we went to that side of the property that's not necessarily used. Right?
Yeah.
And then we found way more evidence of bigger bucks and things like that. So we're like, wow, that's awesome. So now that's the new spot.
That's sweet.
But otherwise, yeah, it's just nice, relaxing time.
How many more deer do you want to get this year? How many more times are you going to go out?
I can't. So rifle and shotgun are over with. And then I don't have a muzzleloader, so I can't go out. But I still have room in my freezer for some, but that's okay. It's all good.
Just start filling it up with regular meat.
What do you mean regular meat?
Cow meat, beef,
Yeah,
pork.
I'll probably hit Restaurant Depot and just start buying some stuff.
Another 10-pound thing of ribs.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
No doubt. How was your week?
It was good. We made sauce. So I'm Italian, if everybody couldn't tell by the amount of facial hair I have.
Yeah, who knew?
And we haven't done this in a while. So my grandmother, the matriarch of the family, she learned how to make sauce. She's not Italian, first of all. My grandmother is not. She is, we talked about this. What is she? German, Irish, and Dutch, I think. So
It's your family, you tell me.
English, Irish, and Dutch. So she learned how to make sauce from my grandfather's mom, who was born in Italy. My grandfather's brother was born in Italy. So she learned how to make sauce from my great-grandmother that I never met. And now she's passing the tradition back down to my dad and then me as well. So we went over to my dad's house. It was me, my dad, my stepmom, and my sister. And we made sauce from scratch. It was so much fun. We haven't done that in so long. Back when I was in, do you have any childhood like traditions that you would do every week? My parents were separated, so I already know where you're going with this, and I do not want to hear it. So growing up, my parents were divorced, so we had to do a lot of like custody stuff. So on the weekdays, since I went to school in my mom's town, so like that was my district, I was with my mom for the weekdays, and then the weekends I would go to my dad's house. So my grandfather would always pick me up from the bus stop, drive me to his house, which is my dad's dad. We would have sauce, spaghetti there, and then I would spend the weekend at my dad's house, and then coming back to my mom's house to start the school week, we would go back to my grandma's house, have more spaghetti, more sauce, and then go back to my mom's house for the rest of the week, which is probably why I have acid reflux now. I was having sauce 2 to 3 times a week, so that could be why, but I don't know. I'm not calling it. Did you have any of those traditions or no?
No, I did not.
All right, we can end that segment right there.
Yes.
No, do you have anything else to add?
No, I do not.
Okay. God, all right. Well, yeah, so that was my week. It was revolving around having sauce, and yesterday I had to remember what side to sleep on for acid reflux because it does change a lot. You pop some Tums in, and then you lay on your left side, and things are peachy. You don't pop Tums in and you lay on your right side, you're done.
Yes,
You
your
are
world is
done.
ending. That happened to me because I did sample that pepper jelly off the spread, and I had heartburn for a day and a half. So that was fun. Oh, yeah.
Just from that pepper jelly?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
And I had like, there wasn't even a pepper flake.
Yeah,
in it.
you didn't even have that much.
I had heartburn for a day and a half.
Damn.
Couldn't do it, dude. I didn't take Tums because I ain't no bee, but I just laid on my left side, and I'm like, my world's about to end if I sleep on my back. So it was terrible.
Yeah, do you know why you have to lay on your left side?
That's how your body naturally sits with gravity, with your organs, and then the flow of the esophagus, nothing kind of goes up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so it's like if you have a jug of milk and because anatomically your stomach is dipped like that, and then the the outage is up top. So if you have the jug of milk and the belly of the milk is down on the table, you're not going to lose so much through the top because the nozzle's more at the top. So, but if you flip it on the other side where the nozzle's at the bottom, your right side, all that milk's spilling out. You're going to throw up all over the place because of your acid reflux. So that's why you're supposed to lay on your left side. It's a game changer, man.
Do you drink milk when you have heartburn?
No, because I don't have milk in the house. Gina likes soy milk or not soy milk. I'm sorry. Soy milk is not good for you. She likes almond milk. Mm-hmm. And I've been drinking almond milk so much that if I go back to regular milk, I will probably kill myself because of my body not being used to that amount of milk. I'll be out of commission for a very long time.
The amount of lactose.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Yes.
So no, I do not drink milk when I have acid reflux.
I tried almond milk with it. Literally did nothing. And that's because it's not milk, it's nut juice.
Well,
so I don't.
Well, are you supposed to have milk with hot stuff?
It's a base. It's a base. So yes, because you're essentially counteracting the acid. So
Okay.
that's why milk and yogurt, rice.
The pH levels lower.
Correct.
There you go. Back to chemistry.
Exactly. But
Mrs.
yes,
Wilkins, what's up?
it's size does matter, covalent bonds, but no, it's it's a base and it counteracts the acid.
I think, isn't there like a falsity with, I don't know if that's a word, but with milk
myth?
and hot sauce? Like milk doesn't actually help the hot sauce, right?
It does.
But hot sauce isn't an acid, it's a temperature. So you're not really doing anything by adding milk to it. All you're doing is coating on top of the hot sauce because of how thick the milk is.
Which helps.
But it doesn't.
Sure, yes. On an atom level, I'm sure you're doing absolutely nothing to help the, not the Kelvin. Yeah, Mike, there you go. The Scoville level.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, if I'm having extremely hot wings, I'm still going to drink chocolate milk when my mouth is numb.
Chocolate milk
Not during,
with wings.
after. So I slam 30 hot wings, and then my mouth is numb and my tongue is like going to fall out and look like the belt that I'm wearing on my waist. And instead of dying, I'll drink milk. Well, it's windy out.
I guess so.
Did I ever tell you that story in high school?
No.
Okay.
What story?
One of my very good friends got the nickname Hot Sauce, and my nickname was That Guy because I was that guy. So
I could have guessed that. If you put 100 people out on a row and you said, pick out who we would call that guy, I'd be like, this one right
100%. That was me. So, anyways, he brought hot sauce to school. And, we all played football together. And we're like, yeah, well, ultra competitive. I got this. I can crush it. It's just hot sauce. Grow up. So we grabbed a saltine cracker from the normal saltine crackers you would get with soup. Mm-hmm. So we coat one of those crackers with this hot sauce and consume it. And
What was the Scoville level on it? Do you remember?
It was so many multiples
wasn't
of
Frank's,
a jalapeno.
right?
No,
It was like
this
a
was
hot...
You had to sign a waiver to buy it,
Gotcha.
type thing.
Yep.
So not like a million, but it was very high. It was like 100,000 plus. Mm-hmm. I was dying. So naturally, I'm flipping out, and I'm like, "Where's the ketchup and jelly from Dumb and Dumber, or the ketchup and mustard, so I can just spray that into my mouth?" Couldn't find that, so I walk into the lunch line, and one of the football players' moms worked at the cafeteria, and I stare at her, and I'm like, "You don't understand. I'm going to die." So she goes, "Okay," and I reach in and grab 4 chocolate milks. Beep, man. I grab 4 chocolate milks, open them, and start chugging milk. And our coach was a chaperone, for the entire cafeteria. Mm-hmm. So he's watching us, and he's like, "What is going on?" And he comes over, and we're all dry heaving and sweating, and I'm like, "This is terrible. My world's gonna end. This is it. This is how I'm going out." My buddy who brought it in is laughing hysterically because it was me and one other buddy who did it. Everybody else is like, we're going to take a little peck of we're going to dip a goldfish into it.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. You guys are out of your mind. We're it couldn't be that bad. Well, it was. So he comes over and he grabs my buddy who brought it in and he goes, "What did you do?" And he grabs the hot sauce off the table and goes, "You brought this to school?" And he goes, "Yeah." He's like, "I didn't think they would do that." And he goes, "Look at your friends. Of course they would do that." So he almost got suspended because it was child welfare issues where it was a huge ordeal to literally bring this into school because it was a waiver of how hot this hot sauce was. So he went to the principal's office. I'm running through the halls because then the bell rang and I had to get to my next class. And I'm like, "Where's the water fountain?" I'm still not okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be a multiple hour thing. And I'm halfway through the school day. Then I got football practice afterwards. I'm just going to sweat.
Up all over the
Oh my
place.
God. Yeah. So I'm just sitting there throwing water on my face in the water fountain and then go to the bathroom, do the same thing. I'm trying to cool myself off and my skin's crawling. And I'm like, this is it. This is why I'm going to have heartburn at 15 years old. So, 18. So I finally calm down, get off of it. And then our coach sees us at practice and he's like, "How you doing, that guy?" And I'm like, and I just walk away from him. And my buddy talked himself out of jail. So he's at practice and he grabs him by the shoulder pads and he's like, "Hey, Hot Sauce, how are you?" And he just puts his head down and he goes, "For the rest of your high school career, you are only going to be called Hot Sauce."
Really?
And we're like, "That's amazing." So that was Hot Sauce. And then it's funny too, because him and I in high school had awful anger issues just because of the home life. So he was Lava Head 1 and 2. So his dad gave us those nicknames. So there's film There's actual game film. He missed a tackle, and instead of getting up and running back after the running back after the play to catch up, he would sit there and just punch the field. And it was on film. So on Saturday after the game, because obviously we played Friday nights, we'd go in, we're all strapped up with ice and like trying to survive from the game, and we're watching it, and then there he is, lava head, just sitting there punching the field because he missed a tackle. We're like, dude, you could have got up and made the tackle. Like, he was juking and slowing down, and the rest of the defense was rallying. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'll do it next week. So then there was, I did the same thing where I just like slapped the ground, got up, and then they're like, this lava head too. And then that was it. It was because he was the other starting linebacker. We ran a 3-4. Or a 4-3. So I'm like, 3-4. So I'm like, this is insane.
So is that why you don't like hot stuff now?
That scarred me for sure, but I just can't do it. Like, I'm Irish, man. It isn't a thing.
You're fine.
I'm not okay. Like, my cousin married a woman from India. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
everything's hot now.
Yeah, you can't eat. Like, what are you gonna? You're gonna be at 40 pounds. So, I remember he would tell me stories. It's like, yeah, I basically just buy pizza on the side. I'm like, dude, like, you can't. What are you gonna do? Like, there's so much cumin in there, man.
Yeah. I love cumin though, dude. It's so good. It's such a good spice. It makes everything so much better. But yeah, when I was younger and we were at my dad's house, I don't know if I told you this story already, but we would make hot sauce from scratch. We would do whatever we can because we would have his family always used to buy. You remember those Schwann's trucks?
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
They had the best ice cream.
Right. So his parents would always buy chicken nuggets and corn dogs. Don't know why, but so his parents would buy chicken nuggets and corn dogs, and we would take the chicken nuggets and make our own hot sauce with them. And it would be like, your little barbecue sauce, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and then we'd sprinkle in like extracts from peppers and like combine different hot sauces like ghost pepper hot sauce and all this stuff into the mixture. So when we coated the nuggets, they were hot. Well, and this is still to this day, we talk about it. We made it one time where it was so hot, we threw up all night. Because it was just eating away at our insides. Like you were saying, we were sitting there and we're like, this is the end of our life is right here. And I don't know how we got here so quickly, but here it is. And we're just like, oh, good night. We're out. Like we were just done.
I can't do it.
Yeah, it was such a rough time.
So when we're big and famous, we'll be on Hot Ones.
100%.
Yeah.
And then we'll just be like, all the mucus is going to come out of our nose.
It's going to be disgusting. Yeah, I'll sit there with a box of tissues.
So you said saltines. Did you ever do those?
100%. I've done the saltine challenge and cinnamon challenge.
Did you do them? Did you complete them? Like, what is the salt? You can't do 7 saltines in a minute or something like that? Isn't that the thing?
Yeah. You can.
You've done it?
It's possible. You got to modify it, but it's possible. But if you do it raw, no. But the cinnamon challenge is hysterical. It's like a tablespoon of straight cinnamon. No liquids.
I never did that one. What does it do? Just kills you?
No, it coats your entire throat and mouth and dries it out, and then you have to cough. And it's a reflex. Your body just does it. It's subconscious. You have absolutely no control. So naturally, I'm like, oh, dude, it's cinnamon. I love cinnamon. It's not that much. Like, I can do it. So they're like, all right, here you go. So I take the spoon, and I'm like, and I cough because my whole mouth is like, you just put us in the Sahara. Like,
right.
And then it literally went everywhere, like all over the kitchen. And naturally, everything's white. Mm-hmm. So
sure. Oh, so the big thing is that you cough the cinnamon back up?
100%. So my buddy's mom's just staring at me like, you're an idiot. I'm like, I'll clean it up. So I'm just walking around with wet paper towels.
Well, what other challenges were there with food?
There's a milk challenge. It's like a gallon.
But you can actually die from that, though.
Same with water. If you drink too much.
Yeah,
there was a woman that did
yourself,
that.
yeah.
She did it in Florida. And she died. It was a part of an MTV thing.
But like, I don't think you can kill yourself from too much cinnamon. It's just an inconvenience. Like, you can't kill yourself from eating too many saltines.
Correct.
But the milk, you can actually kill yourself.
And water, yeah.
Jesus. Is there any other food challenges? I'm trying to remember. I don't think so.
The OGs, no, I don't
Everybody
think so.
just like used to do like bite this pepper, and it's like, okay, but that's not really. That's more of a, are you stupid enough to bite into a California Reaper?
Exactly.
Yes, I am. Did
you see that meme where the guy goes, all these kids have iPads and me at 7 years old and he's just talking into a fan? He's like, F you. I'm like, that was definitely my same entertainment.
I am your father. It's like, what did we do as kids? It was so like, I do miss that though.
Yeah, life was way easier.
Yeah.
And we would just sit there and dial up and get super mad because it never worked.
Yeah.
It was such a good time.
And kind of going back to the weekly recap, that's why we wanted to do this sauce thing again, is to bring back that tradition of having semi-regular family dinners. I don't go over to my parents' house and have dinner anymore. That's just, it doesn't happen on a regular basis. And Gina's Italian, I'm Italian. We want to have this tradition with our kids eventually someday, is that we want to have a family dinner with grandma and grandpa where we all make sauce and we just have, I will be dead on the couch because of my acid reflux, but everybody else can have a good time because we wanted to do this weekly family dinner thing again.
So then what are you and Journey going to do? I don't know who this Gina person is. It's like a second
What do you
life
mean,
you got
what
to
are we
live
gonna
in there.
do?
It was a joke.
Oh.
I was just saying you keep calling her the wrong name.
Oh, Jesus. All right,
No, you're
Mike.
fine.
But yeah, so that was really the week. And yeah, it's good times.
Good one.
You want to jump into this whiskey section?
Yeah, dude, we got to talk about a lot of different things with this.
All right. All right, Mike, what do we have today?
We have Jim Beam 86 proof Rebel Batch, non-chill filtered. So,
Chill filtered now. 20 degrees in here.
yeah, seriously. So, this is 43% ABV, aka 86 proof. Little bit about this. After 13 years without distillation, James B. Bean could finally distill his family's bourbon once again. This unique bottling is 86 proof and non-chilled filtered for a fuller taste that harkens back to the flavor of post-prohibition whiskey and comes with a label inspired by post-prohibition Jim Beam white bottlings from the 1930s. It celebrates the 85th anniversary of Prohibition's repeal and the perseverance James B. Bean put into rebuilding the Jim Beam distillery in 1933, a feat accomplished in only 120 days. So, there wasn't a whole lot in regards to awards that it's won. Basically, this was a limited edition aspect of their products. So I'm excited to try it. And yeah, we should dive into rating it.
So everybody that has been with us for a while, we have done Jim Beam before. We did their Jim Beam Double Oaked, where we went into a more extensive history section. So if you're interested to hear how Jim Beam got its name, the start of the Jim Beam distillery itself, and all of that good information, go back and search Buffalo Happy Hour Jim Beam, and I'm sure it will come up.
Yes.
I can almost guarantee it at this point.
We're
We're basically famous.
Let's calm down.
All right. But yeah, so Jim Beam Repeal Batch. It's an interesting product. I don't remember the specifics of their regular bourbon, but I'm not sure how it compares to the other. Do you know like the mash bill and everything for this or no?
No, a lot of it was under wraps.
Really?
From their point of view with what they put out off of their website and then a few other aspects, but a lot of it was just where can you find it?
Sure.
So, you find something?
So Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, it's the same. The difference is in the repeal batch. Like that's all, like the label is the exact same and it's 6 proof higher.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means. If this is more of like a, what's it called? Like a higher proof barrel strength type. It's not barrel strength, obviously, because it's still way too light for it to be a barrel strength. But it's just an interesting concept to have a repeal badge, especially with how old the Jim Beam distillery is.
Exactly.
So yeah, any other additional information that you want to hear about the distillery, go back and check out that video.
I found something on the Whiskey Jug. Hashtag not a sponsor. Hashtag no free shoutouts. They have their mash bill on here for this specific bourbon. It's 77% corn, 13% rye, and 10% malted barley.
What is that on?
The Whiskey Jug
Okay.
with a new charred oak and 4+ years.
Cool.
So we'll see. We shall see.
Hell yeah. And if you want to see what we rated that last one, go to our link in our bio and find it on the spreadsheet. It is all updated.
Boom.
We are nearing season 3.
Yeah, coming up quick.
So we're going to post the next picture of season 2.7, and that's going to be it. We're done. Dunzo. But yeah, you want to get into a cocktail section?
Yeah,
Do you have a cocktail?
I do.
All right, let's go.
I have the cocktail ready once you drop the beat for the cocktail section.
Cocktails.
Mine is the Fireside Cocoa. It's 3-part hot chocolate, 1 part Jim Beam Rebel Batch, 1 part cinnamon liqueur infused with bourbon, marshmallows, and cinnamon. Ironically. The instructions, you build in a heat-proof mug, garnish with marshmallow and cinnamon. So it's basically a spiked hot chocolate, which I'm all about. What do you got?
That's interesting,
Yeah.
especially because we just talked about cinnamon. Mine is the, where is it? The Spring Breeze, which is 1.5 ounces of Jim Beam bourbon, 0.75 parts of pineapple juice, 0.75 parts of raspberry syrup, 0.5 parts of peach liqueur, and 0.5 parts of lemon juice. There's a lot of fruits in here,
Yeah, that's
just so you know.
a contraption right
Oh,
there.
yeah. Shake up and serve in a coupe glass. Nailed it.
Well, concoction, not contraption. Nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a bear trap, but similar.
Perfect.
All right.
Again? Woof.
This is good. Well, on that note, do you want to rate this thing?
Yeah.
Let's rate this. Let's do it.
Label branding. I'm giving it an A. And the reason is what it incorporates involves they actually list the accomplishments. Just over 120 days, he was able to knock all this out. I like the old school label. That actually adds a lot to it. The one downfall is that there's no cork.
Correct.
I love me a cork.
I don't know why whiskey sometimes does not have a cork. It doesn't make sense to me.
Jameson also doesn't, but it's okay. I still love Jameson. Green bottles matter.
I feel like, yes, they do. 100%. I back that movement. I feel like the whiskey can like escape if it's not a cork.
If it's not corked,
Yeah.
I mean, it could.
Like it's a twist stop. Like the fumes can escape. The cork surrounds the insert.
You might be onto something.
That's what I'm saying. That's why people should do corks.
Yeah.
Like look at Hartman's, no free shout outs, but they're always on our table. They have a cork and like you can't move it. That you can.
Right.
And there's no like you can have that not twisted tight enough. There's no play with that. You push it in. Push it in.
Well, you know,
I gotta call somebody about this. Okay, A. I'll give it. Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Nose. I have COVID, so I can't smell anything. I'm just kidding.
Perfect.
Just kidding. God, swine flu. All right. Oak. I'm getting a little bit of oak.
Hang on a second. Brother. Cleo issues.
Is she alive?
Yeah, she's fucked up inside her.
Derek left me all alone. I wonder if he sees this. I hope he does. That would be hilarious. See what I did there? Hilarious. You know what? I have a dad joke. I'm going to see if he includes this or not. I think it would be funny. Okay. Responding to texts while I have a minute. Here we go. All right. I wonder if you are allowed to laugh loudly in Hawaii. Or if you're only allowed See, now he's already laughing. Okay, hold on. I wonder if you're allowed to laugh loudly in Hawaii, or if you're only allowed a aloha. I really wonder if he's going to hear this or leave it. That would be funny too, because then me and all 4 subscribers, just kidding, we're at like 208 now. We would get a kick out of this, you know? He leaves, he's taking care of his dog, and then it's just me talking to a camera where it's basically just me talking to myself, which is normal anyways, because at least I'm safe inside my mind, and we're just having a kick out of it. I don't know. We'll see what he does. He's probably going to edit all of this out. But when he comes back in, I'll just act like I've been on my phone, not talking to the camera awkwardly. I'm almost positive he's going to know that I was doing this. Just sitting here talking like an idiot. We'll see. I wonder if I get a text about it later. I hope his door's okay. That would suck. I guess Cleo did something to the door. Hopefully we get the full report. In the meantime, pretty hungry.
We're at the nose. Cleo's fine.
What happened?
She just fucked up the whole internet. So we might have gotten cut off too. No, we're good.
She messed up the internet?
Yeah, she started, like, she just destroyed the entire inside of our dining room.
How?
She was playing. And she ripped out all the cords of the internet. All right, so where are we at? Nose? What are you getting for the nose?
Oak.
That's it?
What do you get? I have COVID.
Oh my God. You can't keep joking about that because you probably do. I'm getting like a cherry and a sugar cube.
Cherry and a sugar cube? I'm not.
Yeah, you definitely have COVID. Really? You're not getting any of that? All right. Well, I will give it an A. What are you going to give it? A B plus?
I'm good with an A.
Okay. All right. Initial taste.
No. I definitely don't have Rona, but I do have increased sinus pressure because of the temperature change. So that's fun.
Dad, I'm getting some of the wood sugars, char, and
I'm getting almost
kind of
like
a baking spice a little bit.
You know what I'm getting? You know when you eat a ton of Lay's chips? Mm-hmm. And then you're done eating chips, but then the aftertaste of eating an ungodly amount of #not-a-sponsor Lay's wavy chips, you have just like salt residue in your mouth, and you're like, I could probably eat another one, and that's why they always say you can't just have one.
Right.
That's what I taste.
A salt, though? Or
Yeah.
just that essence of feeling?
It might be the wood sugar or Rona, but no, it's honestly, like, that's where it's at. And this is also really oily.
But most I'm just getting like a char and a wood sugar. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it another A.
I'm taking notes for the board. Ending note. It's pretty much where I'm at as well. Same thing. The initial taste and the ending note are very similar.
Well, I thought you were going to say the ending note is where you're at, like you're not tasting anything.
No. No more lemon pledge.
Yeah, ending note's very consistent. It's not very dynamic.
No.
It's just kind of in one way out the same.
Yes.
What? That's not the phrase. And it doesn't even make sense when it comes to whiskey because it's not coming back out unless you're spitting it because you don't like it. But
Or shooting flames.
yeah, it's very, very similar.
I'm going to go A. Because it's not bad. And this is a real, I mean, Jim Beam is a good budget whiskey. It's interesting too, though, because if you spend $10 extra, the opportunities are insane.
Right.
So Yes, I'm gonna give this an A, and then the ending note is essentially the same as the initial taste. It's a one-dimensional bourbon.
Correct.
And then for the final rating, give me that countdown.
3, 2, 1.
85.
There we go.
So 88 and 85. 86.5.
There you go. Look at you, man. You can go back to school if you wanted.
Shut up.
Shut up, Derek.
We should get our masters though.
Yeah. So we did have to cut it a little bit because the internet went out in my house because of my delightful dog. So we're going to have to do this next segment on our phones.
See, this is why we have a secondary and tertiary plan.
Correct.
In case comms fall.
Which is why I also have this audio recording on both things too. So, but yeah. All right. So let's
No big deal.
dive right into it.
All right. Hold on. I got to...
All right. So we need to scroll very far. We've taken a lot of notes so far.
Yeah, dude, my
Dude, I
goodness.
just keep scrolling. All right, I'm at it. So, all of you that may know, we have finished our History Buffalo segment miniseries, which is very exciting. I've learned quite a bit off of that, and I believe you did as well. And now we're transitioning into our second segment miniseries, which is going to be talking about the prominent people that impacted Buffalo. Going back to the history of Buffalo, they kind of tie in. Obviously, the prominent people from Buffalo have some part in history, or else they wouldn't really be that prominent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we are going to start the first episode of the segment miniseries with none other than the man whose first name isn't really his first name.
Correct.
I don't like that.
We'll talk about it.
Did you know about that?
No. So
I don't like it.
this research is an overview of him as a human being, not specific to Buffalo, because we talked a lot about him with Buffalo in
Correct.
the first miniseries. So
There's a little bit about him in there.
yeah. So well, a good amount. I mean, he's mentioned quite a bit.
Yeah.
So in that, I just wanted to use this prominent figure's research on what else he did outside of Buffalo as well. So starting at the top, Stephen Grover Cleveland was born in Caldwell, New Jersey on March 18th, 1837. He was the fifth of 9 children of Richard Faley Cleveland.
So why Grover Cleveland? That's not like, it would be different if it was like Grover Stephen Cleveland and then he went by Stephen. Is it because of the rhyme, do you think? Like, I don't know if I would want to be called Stephen Cleveland. I'm not even Stevens over here.
If my name was Stephen Cleveland, I wouldn't be mad, but I don't know. I just feel like there's, you know what? No, I'm not going to go there.
But why Grover?
I just think of like Stanley Steamers every time I hear Stephen Cleveland. It's just whatever. So, anyways,
Carpet cleaner.
yeah, exactly. His dad was a Presbyterian.
Presbyterian, nailed it.
Nailed it. Presbyterian. I got kicked out of Catholic religion. Presbyterian minister, and Anne Neo Cleveland in. So that's his mom, Anne Neo Cleveland. I'm all thrown off because I'm on my phone, not the TV. In 1841, the family moved to upstate New York, a.k.a. Western New York, get it right, where Cleveland's father served several congregations before his death in 1853. When his dad suddenly passed away, he started working in order to support his family. Unable to afford a college education, he worked as a teacher in a school for the blind in New York City, and then he was a clerk in a law firm in Buffalo, New York. After clerking for several years, which I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's a weird verb.
Yeah. Cleveland passed the state bar exam in 1859. He started his own law firm in 1862, and then he didn't fight in the American Civil War, and this bothers me. The dude basically used the Conscription Act when it was passed in 1863, and then paid a Polish immigrant to serve in his place. Like, that's the most WASP thing ever. So anyways, Cleveland's first political office was Sheriff of Erie County, New York, a position he assumed in 1871. We just talked about that in the last miniseries. During his 2-year term, he carried out the death sentence by hanging of 3 convicted murderers. Hell yeah. In 1873, he returned to his law practice. He was persuaded to run for mayor of Buffalo in 1881 as a reformer of a corrupt city government. wonderful.
Sounds good.
He won the election and took office in 1882. His reputation as an opponent of machine politics grew so rapidly that he was asked to run as a Democratic candidate for governor of New York. So he ran as a Dem, but the thing here is that there was a woman downstate named Tammy Hall, and she was like the big obstacle that had to be overcome in order for him to really do well
Sure.
politically, right? So he became the governor in 1883, January. He was so opposed to unnecessary government spending that he vetoed 8 bills sent up by the legislature in his first 2 months in office. So that
He just didn't like anything when he was elected.
basically, because of that, he then ran for president in 1884 in spite of the opposition of Tammany Hall down in New York City. So, which did I say she was a female?
Yeah.
I don't know that. Anyways, I'm exhausted. So look that up.
What's her name?
I don't know if it's a her.
Tammany Hall?
Yeah,
It's definitely not her.
it can't be a her in the 1800s. Women,
Was not.
women did not have rights ever in the 1800s.
Yeah, they didn't even get the right to vote until like what, 19 something?
You mean like
know that.
2008?
What? It's not true at all.
No, I'm just saying it took way too long for women to be able to have the right to vote. That was my point.
Yeah, no, Tammany Hall is a dude. He's a very dapper looking gentleman, if I do say so myself.
They're all dapper looking.
It's true.
Well, anyways, yeah, so Tammany Hall, he was the obstacle, right? I'll switch genders.
Yeah. Damn it, Tammy.
So, remember, there's only two. Anyways, so in 1884, he won the presidential campaign, but it was ugly. So the Republican opponent that he beat was U.S. Senator James G. Blaine of Maine, and he was implicated in several financial scandals. But Cleveland was also involved in a paternity case in which he admitted that he had paid child support in 1874 to a woman who claimed he was the father of her child.
Nice.
In spite of the scandal, Cleveland won the election with the support of the Mugwumps. I have no clue what that is. And the Republicans who considered Blaine corrupt, which, he was indicted. So, or indicated. But anyways, once he was in office, Cleveland based his political appointments on merit rather than party affiliation.
A mugwump is a person who remains aloof or independent, especially from party politics.
Got it. So they're the independent party.
Correct. Joe Jurgensen.
Yeah. So Cleveland then tried to reduce government spending using the veto more often than any other president up to that point. He was then a non-intravenist in foreign policy and fought to have protective tariffs lowered, which this bit him in the rear later on. So in 1886, he marries Frances Folsom. This is going to be pretty interesting. You ready? She was a student at Wells College in New York. She was 27 years his junior.
Ooh,
Cheers.
Yikes. What do they call that now? Robbing the cradle?
Yeah, you could say that. Although Cleveland was not the first president to marry while in office, he's the only one who had the ceremony in the White House.
Oh, interesting.
He just slapped him on the table. At age 21, Frances became the youngest first lady in U.S. history. 21 years old.
Still to this day, I'm assuming.
I don't know who the hell beat that. The
We have to
Clevelands,
be, what, at least 35, 38 to run?
I wonder if there's a minimum age for the first lady.
No, there's not, because they're not an elected official.
Well, there you go.
So as long as they're of the legal age, which I'm hoping for our, okay, I shouldn't go that far, but I'm hoping that they're not.
Well, anyways, the Clevelands would go on to have 5 children, none of which are from Quahog. Or
Nailed it. Quahog.
Quahog. Quahog. I told you I'm exhausted today. That's a Family Guy reference that you wouldn't understand either.
Yeah, Frances Clara Cleveland Preston, née Folsom. She was the youngest first lady in history at 21.
Interesting. So the tariff issue, this is when I said it comes back to bite him. It did in the presidential election of 1888. The former U.S. Senator Benjamin Harrison of Indiana won the election in large part because of heavy turnout by voters in the industrial states of the Northeast, who saw their jobs being threatened by lower tariffs. Cleveland even lost his home state of New York in that election, so then he basically just returns to New York City and takes a position in a law firm for the next 4 years. In his second term, however, he opened with the worst. Listen to this, dude. So he wins re-election in a non-consecutive term. And then when he shows up, the worst financial crisis in the country's history strikes. So the Panic of 1893 began when the railroad went bankrupt in February 1893, which was followed rapidly by bank failures, a nationwide credit crisis, a stock market crash, and the failures of 3 more railroads.
Wow.
Unemployment rises to 19%, and a series of strikes cripple the coal and transportation industries in 1894. The American economy did not recover until 1896-97, when the Klondike Gold Rush in the Yukon,
Love those bars.
hell yeah, touched off a decade of rapid growth. So, because he was inconsistent in his social views, on the one hand, he opposed, this is him in a nutshell. You ready? On one hand, he opposed discrimination against Chinese immigrants in the West. And on the other hand, he didn't support equality for African Americans or voting rights for women. And he thought Native Americans should assimilate into mainstream society as quickly as possible rather than preserve their own cultures. He also became unpopular with organized labor when he used federal troops to crush the Pullman Railroad strike in 1894.
So he took all the people that were for him and were like, I don't really care about any of you anymore.
Yeah, basically.
Perfect. That's
So-
how you win presidents.
Yeah, so he lives. He lives. He leaves the White House in 1897. He retires to his home in Princeton, New Jersey, and serves as a trustee of the Princeton University from 1901 until his death. He refused overturns from his party to run again for the presidency in 1904. His health basically plummets at the end of 1907, and he dies of a heart attack at the age of 71 on June 24th, 1908. According to 2 Cleveland biographers, his last words were, "I have tried so hard to do right."
Sounds it.
Yeah. So that's Grover Cleveland. So thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
Yeah.
I hope you all feel better now.
So about his golf course. No. Why do they call it the Grover Cleveland Golf Course? What did he have there? Do you know?
Remember at 7:30 when I texted you this morning and said don't ask difficult questions because I'm not mentally prepared because I'm exhausted from the Bills' victory?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're doing it again. You're asking difficult questions.
I'm just asking the questions that people want to know. I can tell that we're going to get a comment that says, loved it, hot girls 999. I'm going to be like, perfect.
First beep.
Yeah, really, first beep. Actually, so got to give a shout out really quick while I look up some of this information. The mega fan who helped us locate all of our first beeps, it actually helped when I was trying to map this first beep button.
Hell
because
yeah.
I had to get a beep that was clean. So I couldn't have you and I talking, or else this button would be you and I talking. Yeah, I know, got a sip. So what I did was I looked at all the episodes when commented the first beep, and then it was every 15 minutes after that.
Whoa, OPSEC, bro. Don't be throwing names out.
His name is on the thing. People can go and look at any of the channels and see comments.
Try to protect the boy.
Jesus. We'll fix in post. So the golf course was founded by the Country Club of Buffalo. Is it going to say anything about the club relocated to make way for the 1901 Pan American Exposition? So it was in a different spot. And then the exposition came and is like, we can't have golf anymore. We got to kill McKinley.
Well, that was... Jesus. Well, no, that was all at Delaware Park.
Right. But that was the old Grover Cleveland Golf Course.
Well, Grover Cleveland Park is now renamed, I think, to MLK Park. Is that correct?
I don't think so. I have no idea. Zero idea. You and I are the worst people for this.
I do believe that that's true. I think Grover Cleveland's park got renamed to MLK Park.
So
I think.
When the club moved to its present location in Amherst, the existing site was renamed Grover Cleveland Park to honor the mayor of Buffalo, governor of New York, and president of the United States. So they literally just named it after him, probably because they liked that he brought a 21-year-old first lady to the White House.
And then had 5 kids.
Yeah, they're like, we like this guy. He's a model citizen. Let's put a golf course after him. That actually housed the U.S. Open.
Did it really?
Yes.
Way back in the day?
I'm pretty sure of it, but I am known to make things up. But I'm almost positive that it did house the Open or something like that. I could be extremely wrong. The present course has hosted the U.S. Women's Amateur, the Curtis Cup, the Carling, the National Junior Girls Championship. Okay, I must be extremely wrong. No. It definitely... Okay, here we go. In 1912, the course hosted the 1912 U.S. Open. Yeah.
There you go. And to correct myself, Humboldt Park is now MLK Park.
Correct. I know that U.S. Open was won by the defending champion, 20-year-old John J. McDermott, still the youngest ever champion and the first American to win the title. Still younger than the First Lady.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that's exciting. He did have quite an impact on the Buffalo area, as everybody knows, and we're excited for this segment going forward. So who's next? McKinley?
I believe so. That or the Olmsteads and or the Knox.
Yeah, so let's...
Going off memory, because I can't scroll anymore for 14 years to get down to where we are in our shared doc.
Mini Series 2.
Pulling it up. Pulling it up.
There we go. Okay, so Mini Series 2, we have 12 episodes right now. We have Grover Cleveland, then we have Olmsted, Knox, Wells Fargo, and Henry Wells, or Will Fargo and Henry Wells, John Larkin, John R. O'Shea, Rob E. Rich Sr., William Wild Bill Joe Donovan, Jack Kemp, Willis Carrier, Tim Russert, and the extreme failure of Roswell Park.
Would you relax? For those of you who don't know or haven't watched the episode, Roswell Park is the doctor that basically botched and refused the surgery on President McKinley.
Because he was saving someone else's life.
Because he was saving someone else's life.
It's a joke. He's a very good dude. I've met him myself. All right, so that is episode, 65 we're on right now?
Yeah, that was episode 65.
65 of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Everybody, we really appreciate everything, all the support so far. Please go to subscribe our YouTube channel. Go follow our Instagram, our Facebook account at the Buffalo Happy Hour. We're going to continue pumping out all of this content for you going forward. And we're just going to keep doing what we love, which is giving small businesses a free platform to promote. This has been episode 65 of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Please remember to drink responsibly, be a good person, and Michael,
don't litter.
We're out.